guys, welcome to the DualShockers ShockCast, episode 183. I am your host, Tony Polanco.
Hey, Tony!
Hello, and tonight I'm here with Mr. George Jimenez, who is talking out of turn.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Thomas Luke.
Hello.
I am your father. and Ryan Reichler.
Show me your move! We're going to be talking about Smash Brothers later, so I'm excited. So
yeah, we should just talk about it right now.
Just don't make me Falcon Punch you. Just, you know.
All right, so let's get this thing started. A couple of original things we posted. So Mr. Joel put up a editorial about Destiny, basically saying that this is the first time he's like, hey, the digital version's actually worth it more than the retail version. Basically, there's going to be like a couple of collector's editions. And you could get one that has like all these fancy bells and whistles that comes with a book and all this other stuff, but all of them come with the season pass, which gives you 2 DLCs. And it's like, okay, you could pay $150 to get like all this shit that you probably won't even touch ever again, or just pay like I think $80 or maybe less and just get the DLC. So he's like, why should I pay all this extra money when I could just get the DLC, the thing that I'll actually play instead of just shit that's gonna accumulate? So yeah, I was totally with him. I remember, I don't know about you guys, like about how you are with collector's editions. I've stopped them. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was the first and last time I did that. I have this fucking you can see it right there in the back. See that Assassin's Creed box right over there? That thing, man, is just sitting there, just taking up space. Although the Darksiders thing is still pretty cool. I'll admit that.
Yeah, I like that little faceplate. I mean, I think I did what was the last big stupid thing I bought? I think it was probably the Halo Reach that came with the Todd McFarlane statue. It would look cool, but then I'm like, this takes up so much desk space, I can't have it on a desk. So it went from like a desk to like a wall mantle thing to like the corner of my bedroom to like a box to maybe somewhere in the garage.
Yeah, that's what ultimately happens. My favorite one of these stories is from my friend Manny. Ryan, you know him. He ordered the limited edition of Batman, right? And it came at Batman Arkham Asylum, the first one, and it came with a Batarang. He expected a little Batarang. This thing was huge.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in a store one time, and I was like, "Holy shit, that thing's huge!" It's like this big. It's huge. Like, yeah, it's a really big Batarang.
We're at the bus stop, and he's just staring at this thing. He's like, what the fuck am I going to do with this huge monstrosity? And this is a guy who loves to collect stupid shit. And he's like, what am I going to do with this dumb thing? It's hilarious.
I think it's more you're showing your support for, like, if you're really excited about Destiny and, like, a huge Bungie fan and you have, $150 to burn?
Yeah.
Go right ahead. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money because, you know what, I wouldn't mind having a little ghost guy, just little paperweight ghost dude. Like, he's cool, but...
Oh, Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, like I don't know, like I said, I'm starting to convert everything to digital, meaning like if I have the option to buy a game either box retail or digital, I almost always go digital now. Like I even do it now with like when we get review copies of game and ask you what platform you want. I'm like, just give me a fucking code. I don't want to deal with just cases and boxes.
Yep.
I like being able, especially like on the Xbox One, you can just say Xbox go to whatever game and it'll just load up, as opposed to, oh great, now I have to stand up and like put in Titanfall. Like I don't have a digital copy of Titanfall, but I got a digital copy of like Metal Gear, which is like now I just anytime I want, I can just bam go Metal Gear. The indie stuff is super cool.
Yeah, it's really convenient like that, man. Thomas, what about you? Have you ever bought anything stupid?
I mean, I have bought a couple, but it's never been a big thing for me. I know a friend of mine, like he buys a shitload of them, and he's got just sort of one desk that's kind of covered with, all these figurines that he's got from it. And it's like, I mean, for him, it's just kind of a way, like George said, to kind of show support for the games that he's liking, even though he tends not to really do much with the collectibles after.
Yeah, what I don't really go for are those like those $10 extra bundles where it's like, hey, for $75 you get a steel art book, and I'm like, no, thank you. I prefer the digital content. So like, if I'm gonna pay $10 extra, give me like a couple of levels or a gun or something like that. Something I feel like I can use. Like, you give me an art book, I look at it once, I'm like, I don't think that was worth the extra $15.
Yeah, and especially those little art books. Like, I bought the Metal Gear collection, and it came with a nice big art book. That was great. With Assassin's Creed, I got these little art books. I'm like, I don't want this. I want some
I
big.
think I can't remember. It was some RDS, like Dawn of War, I think, and it just came with like the collector's thing with 6 kind of cards that just had like splash art on them, and they look kind of nice. But it's like, I mean, this is it. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of a waste. Ryan, what about you? You bought anything stupid?
No. So actually, out of principle, I do not buy collector's editions or anything like that. Mostly because of the money, because I feel like I don't really need to spend the extra money on it. But also just because like I prefer, like what George said, I'm kind of going more in the digital route, so I kind of prefer more the digital content. The only game that that I was going to get the collector's edition for was The Last of Us. Which I pre-ordered, but GameStop messed up my pre-order and they gave me a standard one. And I tried to get the collector's edition one. It wasn't like the super collector's edition with like the Joel and Ellie statue. Like I don't care about statues, so I never get those. It was like the art book. Like it was the one that had like the art book and the soundtrack and like all stuff like I would love to have. Even if I just had the book as like a coffee table book or something like that. But they messed up my order, so I did not get it. So I just got the standard edition. So
Womp womp.
womp, womp. Yeah, I think the only other one I actually got was last year right before Comic-Con. I bought Beyond.
Nope, we lost Ryan.
Oh, we lost Ryan.
Nope.
Yeah.
They messed up in a good way.
Wait, Ryan, stop. You actually cut out for like 10 seconds. So
Oh, I did? Sorry.
Yeah, you were literally just like...
Sorry. So anyway, so I bought Beyond Two Souls right before Comic-Con, and they messed up. I ordered the standard edition, and they gave me the collector's edition because I guess it was like the last one they had. So either that or the guy was stupid and just didn't realize he gave me the collector's edition. So I messed up on The Last of Us, but I got Beyond Two Souls, so I was happy. So
there you go. Oh man. All right, so let's get to some game reviews. Review some stuff. I guess we got to talk about it again. We already talked about it like 2 weeks in a row. So, Georgia, review for Sniper Elite, the nut shooting game, finally went up. I mean, do we need to talk about this game anymore? It's just okay.
It's an okay game. It does the sniping's it does sniping right, or like at least it encapsulates that moment of like being in a sniper's nest. Everyone is shooting at you, but you're like so far and behind cover where it's just all futile attempts, and you kind of feel like. You do feel like a sniper, and you just slow down time, and you shoot that guy in the face, you shoot him in the nuts, or you shoot the fuel tank of a tank that's aiming right towards you, and setting up traps and ambushes. That's really fun. But when the game forces you to go like close quarters, like you have to go inside this building and steal intel, or recover a POW, that's when it kind of falls apart. When you're forced to use that gun, and it kind of has this weird slow aim to it, and when that happens, you're just kind of like. Oh, let me go back to like just another shooting gallery of just shooting dudes from like really long ways, and they got some really nice levels. Like I said, you don't see many games take place you don't see many World War II games take place during the African front, or at least in the West African front. So there's a lot to play around with, especially with like the desert motif, and like that's really cool. And there are some really cool levels where you're shooting your guns while planes are flying overhead, so you can use the sound of the engines to mask your shots, or shooting through like a thunderstorm. It's just a flashing of the lights, and like that's really cool. But yeah, aside from that, it's just the story is pretty passable. Like you don't really know anything about your main character outside of just kind of like a surly, gruff-voiced sniper dude.
I'm here to kill.
Yeah.
One of those guys.
I should hold my breath. My shots last long. I'm like, who are you telling this? Are you telling to me, the player, or like, are you just saying? You're an expert sniper? Do you just remind yourself of hints? Like,
he just likes to talk. It keeps him calm. It just
he's like, I can use the sound of the generator to mask my shots. I'm like, why do you have to say that out loud? You know this, like. That drives me nuts.
The same thing. He's like, if I sneak in here, they won't catch me. It's like, who are you talking to? It's the same, and he had a gruff voice too. I swear, a lot of these video game characters, they're all chain smokers. Like,
No, to me, it's just I'm not gonna say lazy writing, but their focus was not the story. It was to make the sniping and like the kill cam really cool and super graphic and intense. Like you can see where they put most of their efforts in. And they do pay off. Like when you get like a dual headshot and you see the X-ray of like the bullet going this way and then this part of this guy's face blowing up and then that same bullet going into like another guy's kidney and you see the kidney like explode, you're like, wow, that was intense. And you did a lot of. I played on Xbox One, so I did a lot of like Xbox record that, and I did a short little cute montage of just all the gore and like the greatness that happened there. And I love. Much, but like I said, once you kind of, you can only do it for so long, and it just kind of wears on you, and like there's nothing else outside of that it's a fun gimmick, but outside of that, there's no story to hold you back. You don't really care that the Nazis are building a super tank. You're like, that's just what Nazis do.
Yeah.
You kill so many, and it doesn't help that like the animations and like the facial and just all the facial motion is just so stiff, and they all just kind of stare at each other. So even when the characters try to emote, it's kind of laughable because it's just like, "Good day, chap," because he's a British guy, and he's just like, "You didn't move your face. You're just moving your hands at me. What is going on?" So whenever,
level stuff, man.
Yeah, so when they try to kill like the support, when supporting characters around you die because it's war, you just kind of don't care. You just kind of like shrug. It's like, "Oh, that guy died, who I met 20 minutes ago. What? Oh well."
Sucks for him.
Yeah, sucks for him. But I think I probably mentioned in the comments because people were asking a lot of questions about it, and there aren't that many games where your sole purpose is to be a sniper outside of like, hey, you play Call of Duty and you do that like sniper stage for like 15 minutes. This is like total devotion to it, and I kind of have to commend them for doing that because, it's a game where you have to be patient. Like running gunning is not. You're not gonna have fun if you're gonna run and gun like most third-person action games. So they want you to sit back, be patient, set traps, tag units, memorize the patrol routes. Their vehicles coming here, leave some landmines in open lanes and see stuff blow up. Like that's really cool. But if you're like me, you're just kind of like, let me just want to shoot some dudes and go on to the next part. Like, I don't know. It was fun. But like I said, it's a great game if you ever see it on sale for like $30 or $20. Like I definitely pick it up and and you'll giggle a lot just when you just like and you zoom in on the bullet and the camera will pan around and every kind of kill is different, which is really cool. So you even start getting creative where it's like obviously the headshot is the easiest shot. But you're like, I see what happens if I shoot him in the heart, or I want to shoot him in the eye, or like you start thinking in that sense, which is like really sadistic when you think about it because you're just like. Because they're Nazis, it's totally fine, but like, yeah, you shoot people in the leg, you see like the tibia, like the patella, the knee just explodes, and they just fall over, and it's really cool. And then you can kind of change the rate of your kill cam, so you can just kill cam for every sniper shot. So it's just like doosh, doosh, doosh.
That's pretty cool. All right, we got a couple of. I wish these guys were here to tell us about it. Blaze Blue, Chrono Phantasma. Blaze Blue is fighting games I've always wanted to check out, but I never played more than like 5 minutes of it. But the art is really nice.
They're really cool. They're really cool. It plays a lot like if I would say it's similar to like a Street Fighter Alpha game. Nice. So at least I think in the sense that the super moves kind of play out. So it's a lot of like half moons and crescent moons and like semi half circles and stuff. Like good like if you have a fight stick, great game for that. But yeah, I mean they're also just really cool looking games. Like they're the games I got a lot of play at like Evo and stuff just because. Because a lot of these games, fighting games are spectator sport, so you're just sitting back and watching, and like you want what you're, if other people are in the room, you want them to kind of like see what's going on screen and enjoy themselves, and they're just really
fighting games are definitely like a good like spectator esport, I guess if you want to call them that. Then we have Kevin. I think this may have been his first review. He did One Piece for the 3DS. I'll just be honest. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I've never played a good anime-based video game in my life. They've all been shit.
I don't even know what a One Piece is. So
yeah,
you can stretch. You can go like that and stretch. Like all right, great. Like
I like One Piece, but I'm not sure I'm gonna like this video game. What can I say? So
hopefully, he'll be like a resident anime reviewer of games because I'm not gonna review these anime games because I'm gonna like not having like this to like. Yeah. I'm not a big One Piece fan, so I'm just gonna look this as just an arena battle game, and I'm like. Excuse me, too much beer. But I'm playing this arena battle game, and I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this. But if you're a fan, you might enjoy it. Like, I didn't see what the number score was, but I think he gave it a favorable score.
Yeah, he kind of liked it, but
yeah, half the time when I see those games, I can't even pronounce most of the names, so it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ryan, since you were talking, you reviewed the final episode of The Wolf Among Us, so you could just tell us about the whole series. What do you think of it? How do you compare it to the other Telltale games?
I'm going to talk about the whole series and just spoil it all right now.
No, don't spoil it all.
No, but yes, I did play and review the final episode of The Wolf Among Us. I guess season 1, although they haven't said whether they're actually going to do a season 2 or not, but hopefully they will because it was awesome. But it was called Cry Wolf. And so this was kind of the season finale of this season of The Wolf Among Us. So without spoiling anything, I gave it a really high score. I gave it a 9.5 just because I thought it was definitely probably the best episode, probably next to the debut episode of the series, and did a really nice job, I felt like, of kind of wrapping up the whole season.
Cool.
And especially I think because it made me really want to replay the whole series, just kind of go through and think, again, without spoiling anything, the ending does a good job of doing that, where it's like, there are all these things that if I go back and replay the series, I might not have caught the first time when I played played through all the episodes. And I think especially also it does a nice job of kind of tying up. It ties up the series really well, and it doesn't really leave a lot of loose ends, but it leaves just enough to be like, okay, I'm ready for season 2 if it's going to happen. So yeah, that's it. It's really tough to kind of talk about it without massive spoilers. So
I got to episode I think 3, which is the one with Georgie Porgy. Episode
2, the pudding and
2.
pie, right? Yeah.
So I got
2, yeah.
when you meet the Little Mermaid shows up, or she's
yeah,
one of
it's
the
like
characters.
episode 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I left off, and I saw there was like a lot of build up because they were kind of going for that like it's because it's like a procedural cop drama, so there's just a lot of build up and a lot of like detecting going on. And I saw a lot of build up, so yeah, it's good to know that there is a payoff at some point because I saw a lot of building up. I noticed.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a review of the full season up, probably either the end of it, probably by next week. So it'll kind of cover all the episodes in general. I feel like The Wolf Among Us had a really good start and a really good ending. I felt like the middle it tended to be a little bit more uneven, especially with like the 4th episode. Was really short and it didn't really it kind of just felt like a not really going anywhere kind of episode. But I like the series overall because I never read Fables before. The world
it's a prequel, so it's like it'll.
Yeah, and it makes me want to go and read the comics, but especially because like the world interested me so much, like just with the characters and like all the the way that they had all the fables kind of be like this like modern take on it. Even though sometimes I felt like later on in the series it kind of focused less on that, and it was kind of focused more on like Bigby and Snow going to catch the murderer. So but it was really good, and I felt like episode 5 was probably one of the best, if not the best.
So let me ask you this: what did you prefer? Would you think it'd be better to play this in a unlike The Walking Dead, or do you think this is better to play in like one lump sum, or did like the episodic nature of it kind of take away from it? I know like Walking Dead, I would prefer to play. I couldn't play Walking Dead in one sit through just because I would probably kill myself if I had to do.
Yeah, dude, it's too much. I couldn't do that either.
But I myself sitting through a whole Wolf Among Us thing just because to me the cop drama makes more sense if everything's there. Just because like the previous episode would have like clue. Like I feel like there's too much information going on for me to give it a rest and be like, wait, what is this guy talking about? As opposed to like The Walking Dead where like the breaks helped. So did the breaks kind of take something away from it? Because like I said, I'm on episode 2 and I kind of wish like these came out every week as opposed to every month and a half, sometimes 2 months, sometimes 3 months. So I don't know. Did that take something? Did it deter from it, or?
It didn't really bother me just because like I've been playing. I've pretty much with both this and I've also been reviewing Walking Dead, the episodes of that. I haven't really minded as much because I play them pretty much right when they come out. And I haven't. It's funny because I know like I think Tony and Diana, like you guys said that you just wait until all the episodes come out and then you play them like all at once.
And it was just announced today that they're coming out in September, isn't it? The whole season is coming out in September, so that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, Telltale confirmed that they are going to be releasing like they did with The Walking Dead. They're going to be releasing
a Game of the Year edition.
Like a retail edition that's going to have all the episodes in it. It's going to be out this September.
I'd rather wait for just that big game instead of just like waiting months in between.
Yeah, I'm saying with The Walking Dead, with The Walking Dead, I played it at the end, and then like after it all come out, and like I just played like I think over like a week or two, just an episode a day, and that worked out for me. But then with season 2, I bought it as soon as it came out, and I'm kind of not liking it as much, having to wait for like George said, a month or a half between episodes. I kind of prefer to have that. I can finish an episode, then go right on to the next one.
Yeah, it's interesting that you guys play it that way because I know for me like I can't wait until the next episode comes out. So like I always as soon as but I like the episodic format. Like
that's what I mean. I don't want to wait until the next episode.
The thing is, I don't have an issue with the episodic format if they were just more consistent with the release dates. Like if you told me every month, fine, I can do that because that's kind of how I have in my head how I wait for comic books. Like I know that Batman is coming out every 15th of every month. I know that it'll be there. This was kind of like, hey, we're gonna be 2 weeks early. We're gonna be like 3 weeks late. Like that kind of drives me nuts. And like,
I do.
And you play other things, so it's like you kind of lose something there.
But I think it's also like like these I'm more because like like I work full time. I don't have a lot of time to play games. So when I have something like if I had like for example Watch Dogs, like I wouldn't have as much time to play that. Versus something like Walking Dead, where I'm like, okay, it'll take like at most 2 hours to get through the latest episode. So I'm more kind of inclined to play through it. But like, it's interesting. I think moving forward with Telltale, that might be more of an issue just because of the number of projects that they're taking on. Because they're just they just wrapped up Wolf Among Us. They're going to be wrapping up Walking Dead in a couple months. But then they're going to have Tales from the Borderlands. They're going to have Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Who knows what
And
other?
they'll probably have a
series
season 2 of Wolf Among Us.
Yeah,
they'll
probably,
just do another
probably.
case, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. But yeah, I think they're usually really good about it because they usually release a new episode every 2 months. There was except that lag kind of between episode 1 and 2 of The Wolf Among Us, where it took them 4 months, which was kind of a long wait. But
I almost wish that they would just like take half a year, don't release anything, but finish all the episodes, and then this way you can kind of guarantee that we'll have this episode every month because they're done already.
Yeah. But who knows? I mean, they're a growing studio and they've got a lot of projects, which is both a good and a bad thing because it's good. They've got a lot of new stuff coming out, but it's also might take them longer to get it out. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to start hiring more people if that's the case, man.
Yeah, and I am actually looking forward, even though I haven't played through Borderlands 1 or 2 yet, but I am looking forward to Tales from the Borderlands just because it looks really interesting. Like it's not what I would have expected them to be working on. And then obviously the Game of Thrones I'm looking forward to, but that is not coming out this year, so I am not expecting that at all this year. So
yeah, exactly. As far as comparing it to the other games that Telltale has released, how do you rank this one?
I'd put it probably pretty close to Walking Dead. I think I enjoyed Walking Dead slightly more. I think Walking Dead does a better job with the story. Like Wolf Among Us was really good, but again, it was kind of uneven. Where like some of the episodes were a little bit slower than others. I think Walking Dead's a little bit more consistent in that way, like of having kind of each episode have something meaningful happen or build upon the story in a meaningful way each episode. But I think I really liked obviously visually the art style and everything really suits it, and it has that very comic booky feel, which I thought was really cool. That was one of my favorite parts about it was just how it looked.
I should say the game doesn't look like the comic books. And that's actually, and I hate to say this, it's actually a good thing because one of the reasons I never read Fables when I was a kid because I thought the interior art was terrible.
Really? So, I kind of like the interior art.
I didn't like it too much. Like I love the covers. I'm like, oh my god, this cover looks amazing. I look at it, I'm like, oh. But then I look at the game, I'm like, the game looks beautiful.
Yeah, again, like I haven't read Fables, so I don't know what the art's. I've seen like the covers and stuff like that, but I don't know. That's probably different from what the actual like art is like in the in the books. But I enjoyed the visuals. I thought the art was really good in the game.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, it has a similar style to like Walking Dead, but I think it suits it here a little bit better. Just because of the because of the vibe it's going for with that kind of noir tone.
Yeah. All right, so let's move it on. So you may notice that we have a little something new on the front page right around here. We have a nice little thing for Twitch. We're going to be streaming a bunch of stuff. We already started streaming stuff. I know Al was going crazy with UFC, and this got me thinking about the main topic. It's like there are a lot of people that like to watch games, and it's getting like bigger all the time. I remember yesterday I bumped into a kid and his dad, and he was telling me, he's like, hey, my son, he actually, because I saw him with a 3DS. I'm like, hey, what are you playing? And he was like, yeah, this kid, man, he watches more games than he plays. I'm like, that's interesting, because I'm the kind of guy that actually prefers to play a game over watching it. So why do you think in the last few years that, things like Twitch have become so big? Like, I kind of don't understand why this is myself. Maybe you guys have an answer for this?
Well, personally, I agree with you. I'd prefer, if I had to choice up between playing a game and watching somebody else play it, I'd rather play it myself. But I guess for a lot of people, they enjoy like the personality of, like, because all the popular streamers have some big personality. They're all pretty funny, and I think that's probably part of the reason a lot of people do it. Just to kind of, it's sort of like watching a comedy show, I guess, to an extent. And it's a bit about the game, but it's also about just experiencing that person.
Yeah, and also people are playing games they never would normally play, but I'd kind of want to see say I saw a Let's Play of the Castle Doctrine, which is like this cool little indie game when you have to like defend your house and all that stuff, but I'm probably never gonna play it, but I would kind of want to see what this game is about. And before you know it, you're just there watching it for, you keep it in the background while you do other things, and before you know it, you just, keep a little tiny window in the corner, and before you know it, it's like, oh, I've been watching this for 45 minutes, this looks like a neat game, and you know what? I think I bought it on Steam and then just never played it, but if it wasn't for that, I never would have even considered purchasing it, but to me, it was more like, I kind of want to see what this game's about, but I can't look at it for, I can't get anything from a 2-minute trailer or a 5-minute slice. I need someone going real deep into this to know whether I'd be interested in it or not. But yeah, I think it's a little bit what Thomas says. Sometimes they're entertaining, but there are Let's Plays where people are literally not saying anything, and people are still going to watch it. And I saw one when the Xbox One came out, and you can jump on Twitch. This guy was playing Parasite Eve, the first one.
Oh wow, bringing it back.
And instead of like doing commentary, he was narrating all the voices that came on. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious, because he gave everyone this like crazy Boston accent, even though they were in New York. So in my head, he made everyone sound like Harvey Bullock. Like every cop she met in the police station sounded like Harvey Bullock. And then he even tried to do like a female voice. He just said, no, this is just the voice. And he's just like, park the car, I need to find our mitochondria. And I was like, oh, that's great. So yeah, I think a lot is just an entertainment value, and you also have to think, like, I always think the audience for a Let's Play is people who are a lot younger, so maybe they just don't have the cash to shell out $60 every couple of weeks for a game. So at least this is their way of at least watching the game being played and maybe at least being part of the conversation.
That's interesting. I never thought about it like that. You're right. It's like, hey, I don't have the cash for it. Let me just watch someone play this thing.
Yeah, that was actually something I was going to bring up, because I think you mentioned that before, Jorge, on another ShockCast. You know, and it makes sense, you know, thinking about, or like I had a bunch of friends who, I think one of my friends was trying to play through the Max Payne games or something like that, and like he, rather than play through them, he just watched like Let's Play videos, and he watched like, you know, those like cutscene videos on YouTube, so you can kind of get the story and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, if you don't have the cash, or if you just don't have the time or patience, I guess, to sit through and play, you could just watch them. I mean, like, I never really watch them on my end. I just think it's kind of I think it's kind of boring to sit and watch people play games when I could just go on and play myself. I could see, though, for certain genres, especially like fighting games or MOBAs or that, where it could be valuable, because you're watching, but you're also kind of learning and saying, okay, like, these are some of the tactics that people use, or, you know, like things like that. Like, you know, I probably should watch, you know, Smash Brothers Let's Plays at some point, or, you know, Smash Brothers videos, but I don't know. I just prefer to play Smash Brothers, but.
I was just thinking about that. The only Let's Plays I watch are the ones that show me how to get through specific levels. I don't know if those even are Let's Plays.
Those are like walkthroughs.
Yeah, that's what I really
like tips and tricks type stuff. This is someone who's like, I don't own Tomb Raider, but I've been watching 3 hours of Tomb Raider videos type of stuff, where it's like, sometimes, and you know what, sometimes that's enough. Sometimes people just want to see it, you know, they just want to hear how the game turns out, and, you know, they have no interest, or sometimes people don't have like high-powered PCs to run like really, really cool high-end shit, so they're just like, hey, you know what, I'd rather watch it just a 1080p of something being run at like high settings just to see what it's like, and kind of I know a couple of you don't want to be left out of the conversation, I guess.
I know a couple of people I've seen in comments. Some people prefer, well, especially to just kind of advertising, they prefer to wait for the game to watch out, then watch. I mean, like, say with Aliens, Colonial Marines, if you watch somebody play that game for 10 minutes, you would have got, like, that would have cut through all the advertising, you would have known what the game was like. But some people also, I guess, prefer over reviews. They prefer to see somebody playing through the game and showing exactly how the game runs, instead of having somebody summarize exactly how they reckon the game played.
Yeah, man, a game like Alien Isolation. Oh, go ahead, say that again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I like for reviews, it makes sense, and I can see why it's kind of changing the review format in a sense, where it's like, yeah, you can read, you know, a written text of a review and maybe get like a nice analysis of it, but sometimes people just want to see how the game looks in motion and see whether it's a train wreck or not. And like, I think if I were to read a review of Alien Isolation, and, you know, someone give it like a 5 or 6 and be like, well, that's kind of weird. Like, that would make me kind of curious about the game, something I was looking forward to. But if I saw, you know, 25 minutes of it being played, 45 minutes of it being played, I'd be like, wow, this game is hot garbage. I should stay away from this. And that does and I think that does more justice to you as a consumer as to, like, should I drop $60 on this? And I think having that available so you can see the game in motion, that's not like something the PR company released, and it's like, oh, look at this cool walkthrough of the stage. It's like, no, I'm just going to play this game straight up. Tutorial to end, and
I
think it does have its value.
Like that. Like, in a way, it kind of circumvents traditional reviews, and it's like, this is the game. Take it for what it is. You know, that's actually a pretty good tool for consumers if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you do run into the issue of, like, if the game's just being played poorly. Like, as much as I love Mass Effect 3, if I saw someone just fucking up and dying over and over again, I'll be like, well, this game's bullshit. Like, this guy can't even get through it. But if it's a genre you don't care about, then you're not going to play it like the way you would normally play it. Or if you just kind of run through it, and I think that happens a lot with people who just kind of get video content up as soon as possible. We're just going to run right through it. Like, don't even go into the menus, just run right through it. So you don't know maybe how in depth the character customization is, or like abilities, or what's the map like. It's like, because I think most people don't even get into that. They're just like, no, let's go see the game in motion, and that's it. So I think it does have its value, and I think it does. A lot of it depends on, like, who you follow, and, like, I think there's really good Let's Players out there. Like Total Biscuit, he really goes deep into a game, even if he's only playing it for 15 minutes. Like he goes into like, here are the settings on there, like what can you tweak on the visuals, and he's a good example of a Let's Player who not only just gives you a good slice of the game, he's well enough to articulate his point, or to like, well, this feels kind of funny, or he'll talk about like mouse lag or stuff like really hardcore PC gamers care about. I think he's really good at just kind of like putting that information out there, and also helps that like the footage is good too. Like I do see that a lot with some Let's Players where it's just like, it looks like they're running it out of like a 1986 like Zenith television, and it's just like, oh, this does not look good.
Yeah, but also I think part of it too is just like I guess like Thomas said, like the entertainment value, or like the fun, Let's Players being funny, because like and some of these probably might not count, but like recently I was going through Conan O'Brien's Clueless Gamer videos, which don't really count, I guess, Let's Plays, but they're a similar sort of thing. But I just thought those are hilarious, because it's like, either it was he was either playing through games I had played before, like GTA 5 or stuff like that, or Tomb Raider. And I got kind of a new spin on it because Conan's hilarious. He was cracking jokes the whole time. Or actually, like a couple games in the Steam sale, because I watched them on Clueless Gamer, because I bought like Splinter Cell Blacklist and like a couple games that he played that I thought were hysterical when he was going through them on Clueless Gamer, and I thought, okay, I'll play that. So, also there were a couple. I watched Continue, which is a YouTube like Let's Play series. Where it's basically a bunch of guys that they go through games, and like as they're playing, they decide if they want to keep playing it or not based on how hard it is. They play really hard stuff, I guess, like Super Meat Boy, and I think they just did Shovel Knight recently. So it's just kind of them like saying, oh, do we want to keep playing, or do we want to say fuck it and just go away and like stop playing? So, but they kind of make fun of the game as they're playing it the whole time. So like entertainment value stuff like that's fun too.
Yeah, like I said, I think we're just an older generation, and we don't quite get it. It's like, what are these kids are into? This is so weird. What's this hip hop music?
Yeah, but I think
it's just like that.
When you take into account, especially things like Minecraft and stuff like that, that's super popular, and that's
we should say though, we're not against them in any sort of way. It's just we just find it a little odd.
We just don't get it. We're old.
Yeah.
We're fucking dinosaurs. We're just
we're old men. But with that said, we're still gonna do Let's Plays for you guys.
We're gonna start doing a bunch of those. They're gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, like whatever. I don't like these, but I'm doing them for you guys. But yeah, and it's weird too. I don't know, George, have you done any of these? Because it's weird to talk while you're
I've done a bunch of them, actually. I've done a bunch for the old site. I did one when the Titanfall beta came out. I did like a good 45 minutes that actually.
Yeah, and you actually talked over it.
Yeah, I think I got really good traction with the site. Like, I talked over. I got into the beta. What I did was I did a few matches ahead of time just so I have a sense of like the controls, and I don't look like too much like a fool playing it. But normally when I like playing a game for the first time. If I were to do like a commentary, I like playing it for the first time, so that way you're just kind of learning with me. So if I'm stuck on a part or something, it's because I'm fucking stuck on it, and like, and to me, I'm like, that's the game's fault if I can't figure it out, because I'm like, I went to college, I should be able to figure this out, and if I can't, then that's on the game, and I feel like that's good for people to see, and it's like. Because that's happened where you just don't play and you get stuck and you feel dumb and you're like, well, you know what? Like, it's kind of maybe it's the game's fault. Maybe your lack of tutorial was a bad choice. But yeah, I did it with Titanfall. It is tough to play and talk because after a while maybe you forget to talk because you want to focus on like getting the kill. Yeah. So a lot of it, you're like your pride, your ego gets in the way where you're just like, oh, I want to score like I want to get my high KD ratio, and it's like, well, no, I got to try to make this entertaining, or people want to know, like, oh, what's that crazy move you did that caught all the bullets, and I'm just doing it all the time and not mentioning it. Like, no, I should probably mention, like, oh, it's the vortex thing, and you can catch the bullets and throw it back at the guy. Like it's a good balance, and it takes some practice, but, like, yeah, it's tough where do you want to go the route, just play the game and just play it straight through, but I think people prefer to have someone talk over it because there's some things maybe people just don't quite understand by seeing it, like, or they want some things explained to them, or just want knowing how does the combat feel, like, first thing I mentioned is like, this game's really bouncy, it's awesome, you just jump on everything and all that, and I don't know.
That's something I've been doing too, because I've been kind of messing around with Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes videos. I'm like, okay, I did these videos, and I'm like, they're kind of empty. They need something over, so I talk over them. That's a little bit easier than you're actually playing, because when you're just talking over something you're watching, it's actually easier than what I was doing last night, which is like
easier with it's easier with RPGs. And like shooters are rough just because, like I said, there's just so much going on, and it demands so much of your attention where you just can't talk and just try not to like play like ass at the same time. At least with an RPG, you can kind of give it a pause, or hey, let's look at the menus, or you can kind of sit there and it's fun almost trying to like talk your process out. And then from that way, because I think even if you're recording yourself playing, I think people will play the game almost the same way you will. So it's fun, for me watching someone do that. It's like, yeah, I kind of do that same thing too, and like what I want people to get out of is like if I'm having a frustration at a certain issue, and it might be something that frustrates you all the time about a game, and maybe that'll be your like make or break decision where it's like I'm gonna wait on this game, maybe I'm not, and I think also you can be a good judge. It's like, well, he's just terrible at video games.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much the future, and I'm all for it. I don't get it, but I'm all for it. It's pretty cool. Next topic. This one was inspired outside of video games, but it relates to video games. So this week it was announced that there will be a new wielder of Mjolnir, and it will be a woman. I need to clarify this. A lot of people are saying Thor is turning into a woman. No.
No, he's not.
It's not like Loki. Remember when Loki got turned into a woman? It's not like that.
Well, now he's a child, but no, he's not. We're not changing bodies. It's just it's a new character entirely. It's going to be her name will be Thor. She will be Thor.
Yeah, exactly. And this got me thinking, about the recent controversy with Ubisoft, where they were talking about how, like, oh yeah, it's hard to animate women, all that other, like,
yeah, because they got more curves. It's harder because it's more lines. That's the problem.
Yeah, but it's like we've seen animated women in video games already. That's so silly, But yeah, it's just about games. Do you think we're getting to a point where we're seeing more, like better representations for like stronger women? I think we're kind of getting there now, like the new Lara Croft. The old one was a little bit too. I'm looking for a right word here. I don't know what to say, but she was still pretty.
Sexualized?
Yeah, sexualized. I guess that's a nicer way of saying it. But yeah, I think we're slowly getting there, even with like customized characters.
What were you gonna say, Tony Slutty? Like, it's like.
I'm not saying it, but yeah, it just wasn't nice. Yeah, and I actually tweeted this last time. Like, Commander Shepard is the most awesome, badass woman in video games. So I think we're kind of seeing more of that from the customization part of it. You know what I mean? Like with Saints Row, I'm like, I don't want to play as a guy. I want to play as a fucking female. It's cool to me,
No, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see, like, we take a game like Bayonetta or Tomb Raider where the main character is a woman. Like, there's no like Mass Effect, you can kind of get around it. But like, oh no, you can kind of like Saints Row. It's like, oh yeah, that's a strong woman female character. Like, not technically, just because she can be anything. You can make that any gender you want, and
exactly.
You're just gonna write the character very strong. But that's also a good point where it's just like there's really no difference between a strong female character and a strong male character, and like Saints Row is maybe the best example of that because that game was not written with a gender in mind. And like even that game, they rarely ever used the pronoun he, she. They just always referred to as boss.
Yeah, exactly. But I really like that because it's funny because people were when GTA 5 was announced, they were like, "Why isn't there a woman playable?" I'm like, "Play Saints Row. There you go."
Yeah. Or you look even at like the Nintendo end of things, and you look at like Hyrule Warriors. I think Link is the only male character that's playable in the game. I think otherwise all the other playable characters are all female. Coming from the series until they announce more, I guess, but. And even the new Smash Brothers games, like they have really like boosted up the number of female characters that they've had since, because before it was basically just Peach, Zelda, and like maybe one or two other characters, maybe. But now in the new one, you've got like Palutena, you've got all these other different, and Samus, of course, Samus. But like you have a whole bunch of new like female characters, especially.
Yeah, one thing that I always notice that people bring up is like the fact that a lot of gamers, male gamers, don't like to play as females. Like they don't take them serious. I never understood that because it's kind of like what you were saying, George. A strong character is what matters. It doesn't matter what the gender is. So I always found that odd. It's like I don't want to play as a female. I can't take that serious. Like
I don't know. For whatever reason, it makes people thinking like if I play as a girl, I'm a girl. Like no, it doesn't.
Like why would you?
No, I've actually known like a couple people that like that they used to like there were males that like in like RPGs or like MMOs or whatever they'd always play as female characters. I guess just for whatever reason.
I'm that guy, but, and I get shit for like, why are you playing as a girl? You're a guy, It's like because like I gotta stare at a character's ass for 30 minutes, and I have a choice. I'm gonna make it a female,
That's nonsense.
But no, it's like, seriously though, you play as so many males and characters. Why are you gonna play as another one if given a choice? Play as a freaking female. Go outside the box,
Part of it is, I think, like, a lot of people when they play Mass Effect or whatever, they kind of like to pretend it's themselves in the game. So with that, it's kind of like, I guess I can see, like, I think it's like 80% of Shepards were male. I saw some statistic like that. And it's like with that, because most people who are playing it are probably guys. They want to sort of make themselves in the game. Yeah, sure. But at the same time, like, I don't see why, like, when I played Tomb Raider, I was playing a girl. It didn't really make that much of a difference for me, if any at all. So I don't get that argument, it's worse to play as a female.
You didn't want to play as Larry Croft?
Larry Croft.
And the short shorts and the cut-off tank top.
Was what's this supposed to be like? Yeah, Larry Croft. I know it was supposed to be a guy originally, but like, let's make it a woman to be, more interesting. Yeah, I never get that either. It's like, dude, if it's a good character, what the fuck does it matter? I don't know, but yeah, some people are like, I don't want to play this.
It's a very flimsy, just very like. You have to kind of look into it, like, why does playing a female character make you so uncomfortable? What is the idea of playing a female character make you so uncomfortable? And it's like, you have to kind of figure that stuff out, because I'm not going to let those people kind of dictate how games are made, because it's like, you know what, Bayonetta is a great fucking game.
Yes.
And like, yeah, you played a girl character, whatever. Like, I know at the end of the day, I'm not a girl. Like, nothing changes. It's just,
it's like it's like their sexuality is like in question. It's like, oh no,
it's totally fine. Like no, like you can play a strong female character who's not like a lesbian or like any, like, no, you can just play a straight female character. It doesn't change you at all. You might actually learn something or like enjoy the game. To me, that kind of drives me nuts. I'm more of a sense like, if the character's well written, who cares what the gender is? Like, just don't make her a female just because, like, oh, man, we haven't any female characters. We just make one. Like, no.
Yeah, you don't want that token either,
No, go with what feels right, and that's really down to, like, the writer and, like, the game creators. And, like, I think people kind of put them on, like the GTA guys, like, would a female character would have been great, and would have been a great opportunity for them to make, like, one of the three characters be a female character, and could have. And I think any one of those three characters could have easily been a female character, because they're all kind of like the worst people in the world.
Yeah.
So I would have been fine if Franklin was a girl. Or even like imagine a female like Trevor character who would have been
that
just absolutely amazing. Like, I think that's fine. But like, again, like, I'm not making the game. I'm not going to dictate someone's creative vision. It's like, if this is how they see something, that's fine. Whether it works or not, that's entirely a different story. But we go like that Hideo Kojima talk. Like, as like stupid as that Quiet character looks, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, you over-sexualize her, blah, 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 because A, I haven't played the game yet, and B, it's not my fucking franchise. It's Hideo Kojima's vision. Like, as dumb as it is, I'm going to let him do his thing, and, we'll criticize it once it's released. And, maybe Quiet will be, like, a super compelling character, but yeah, at a glance, she looks super dumb, and I'm just like, all right, fine, but I'm going to give Hideo Kojima the benefit of the doubt, like every other creator I do, is like, hey, let me play the game first, and then I'll be like, yeah, I was totally right. This was a dumb character. Or be like, oh, look at that, I was wrong. I actually enjoyed having her in the game, or something like, Like, but I don't know. I'm a little iffy about Quiet, just because, like, it's a great character people can cosplay. I'm like, that should not be the reason why you.
Yeah, you don't want to say that. That's no.
Like, you were dopey, but I'm gonna say that it was just a poor translation, Hideo Kojima. I'm gonna give you benefit of the doubt. You're kind of crazy, and I like your brand of crazy. But oh god, just tweet about food. Just do that. Like,
stick to food.
I love when he tweets about food. It's so adorable when he tweets about food.
Somebody actually did a post on some site, like the top 10 Kojima food tweets. It was amazing.
He loves food. Like, when he comes to America, he just, like, all tweets about, like, I went to this restaurant. The food is amazing. And takes pictures up. Like,
I feel like every time I've gone on Twitter, like, when I'm writing news or whatever, it's, like, there's always. As I'm looking, it's just, like, news, Kojima food tweet, news. So I'm like, it's ridiculous how skinny that man is. And
I was about to say that. I'm like, dude, how do you eat so much and say that thin? I'm envious of you, man. I want that metabolism.
Yeah, I don't understand how anyone.
Maybe he doesn't really eat. Maybe he just goes to places and looks at it.
He just takes pictures of the food.
Yeah, he's like, this is I can't eat it, but this looks amazing, and just moves on. Like,
Kojima eats it with his mind.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, that's what inspires the Metal Gear franchise secretly in some weird, twisted way. He sees food and he gets the idea for Quiet.
That bowl of noodles looks amazing. I have a character in mind.
I want to talk about nuclear deterrence now. All right. Madness. Yes. I'll talk about Peace Walker at the end of the show because I have to do that. Anyway, let's move on to some news.
But yeah, Lady Thor. I mean, it's just Thor. So it's not Thor, Lady Thor. It's not Thorita. That's how the best tweet goes. It's not Thorina or Thorita. It's fucking Thor. Like, she. Yeah. And people don't be like, oh, but the Legend of Thor. I'm like, first of all, Norse mythology is public domain, so people can do whatever the fuck they want with it.
Yeah.
So it's also it's not real. Well, also it's not real. These are fable. Who gives a shit if Thor's a girl? It's a person who flies around with a massissive hammer and throws lightning at people. That's not a real person.
Jorge's getting a bloody Mjolnir delivered to his doorstep. Like,
I mean, we're not gonna get too much into
with a death note and a stack of burned.
Oh no, we're not gonna get too into it because we're not here about comics. But I will say this: people complaining. I guarantee you, by the time Age of Ultron comes out, the normal Thor will be back. I guarantee that. And Girl Thor is going to have her own comic book.
Well, we have no idea what's happening to we have no idea what's happening to regular Thor. That arc's not even done yet because we have to sit through unworthy Thor. We have to sit through unworthy Thor as to why the Hammer says, "Nah, son, you can't be Thor," and then goes.
Not you. I don't want. Don't pick me up no more, man. I don't want you to.
Exactly. So there's a whole arc. People need to stop just knee-jerk reaction. But I guess that's just the nature of the internet. I'm like, relax. Just because your favorite character is now a girl doesn't make you a girl. Like, just chill out.
Yeah, exactly. But I still say don't worry because his comic books status quo will always come back no matter what. Your favorite character that died will come back. Nothing ever stays.
Yeah, but don't go quoting Norse mythology as like, no, she can't be a girl because Thor's a man. And I'm like, fuck you. This was written on a wall. Who cares?
Stop that. Stop that. All right, news time. This I found interesting. So Evo happened over the weekend, and the winner, his name was Luffy. He won with a PlayStation 1 controller. And I need to say this. The PlayStation 1 controller, my opinion, was one of the worst controllers to play a fighting game on. Like, the D-pad was crap.
The DualShock controller is not a good game for fighting games.
It's not. Even the current one is not good for fighting games at all.
The D-pad's great, but that controller is flimsy.
Dude, so my mind can't understand. It's like he won Evo with this shitty controller. How amazing is this guy? It's like, wow. I have to admit, though, I saw his fight. That was kind of boring. It's like, all you guys are just doing is just throwing fucking fireballs at each other. It's like, this
what game were they playing? Because there was a bunch of different games.
They were playing Ultra Street Fighter 4. And he was Rose, and he was playing against some dude who's playing as Sagat. And I swear, half the time it was just Tiger, reflect. I'm like, guys, do something. It's like, this is high-level tournament play right here. I know.
Hey, Ryan and I were talking
about this before. Yeah, whatever works. Ryan and I were talking about this. Like, dude, this isn't fun, man. I'm sorry, But I give the dude respect. I'm like, damn, that's an achievement with that crazy controller,
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you just cause if you just get used to a controller enough, like it just it works. Like I used to like on Wii when I would play Smash Brothers Brawl with my friends. Like I didn't have a GameCube controller anymore, so I had to play with the Wii remote and nunchuck, and I just got used to it. And like eventually I started, all my friends were like, oh, I can only play with the GameCube controller, but I started kicking all their asses when they had to use just the Wii remote and the nunchuck. So.
That's hilarious. I remember when I played Smash Brothers at Manny's house, he was like, you want to play with the controller or the nunchucks? I'm like, why are you even asking me? Like, give me the controller, man. Yeah. That's pretty amazing that you're actually able to whip all their asses with the nunchucks.
Yeah, no, I just got used to it and it was fine. I mean, I still prefer the GameCube controller a little more, but like I'm okay with the Wii remote, so.
Pretty cool. And then other Evo news, so they officially announced Tekken 7, which is cool. This is going to be running on Unreal Engine 4, one of the first games that's going to be running on it. And
Great. More Tekken. More fucking Tekken.
They also announced Raiden in Mortal Kombat 10.
Raiden, my friend.
Raiden. Sorry. I got the wrong. Sorry.
Wrong franchise. Yeah. I would like to see Raiden in
that would be cool,
that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, Raiden is in Mortal Kombat X. They announced that at Evo as well.
Which is cool.
They also announced that fight stick for Xbox One at Evo. There's like
always announce a fight stick.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's what they do. What are any Tekken fans here?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Back in the day when Tekken
high school, and I always lost to that guy who picked Eddie Gordo with the breakdancing, and he did like a 50-hit combo. I'm like, this game's bullshit. And I just kind of threw it at the TV.
I remember when Tekken first came out, I'm like, this is just a cheap Virtua Fighter knockoff. Fuck this thing. I think
the only one I really played was like Tekken Advance, which is probably not the best one to play. No.
Oh man, so yeah, there you go. This was an interesting one, kind of sad, but I kind of like the way they did things. So Neversoft, they closed their doors. We already knew about this a couple months ago, Ryan. I know you reported on that back when.
It was like about a month or two ago. I think that they officially closed, but.
So they had their little going away party, and to do that, they burnt an effigy of their logo, the little eyeball with the
eyeball.
thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool the way they did that.
Yeah, it was a good way to go out. If they're gonna go out, they might as well burn all their shit. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they could have just made better games that weren't Tony Hawk. That could have helped too.
Well.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk Ride and Surf was not fun.
I'm not saying anything, but I don't disagree with George. Rest
in peace, Neversoft. So
rest in peace. All right, Ryan, I'm going to let you go off now. Smash Brothers. There's a lot of stuff going on with this game. Yeah, where do you want to start? You want to start with the new characters, or you want to?
Yeah, we'll start with the big news. So Smash Brothers. So early this week, Nintendo on their official website. It was on Monday. On Monday morning, they revealed new characters for the new upcoming Super Smash Brothers on Wii U and 3DS. So the big ones. So first off, they announced Captain Falcon is back. So don't worry, you will get to Falcon Punch in the new Smash Brothers. I'm sure many people were nervous that they wouldn't.
Thank God.
So they announced Captain Falcon, and then they announced two other new characters.
Tony, who's Captain Falcon?
I don't know either.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna punch all of you.
He's gonna Falcon punch us.
I'm gonna Falcon punch both of you. So they announced Captain Falcon, and they announced two other characters. They announced Lucina, and they announced Robin from Fire Emblem. They're both from Awakening, right? Were they in other previous games? Or I don't really know Fire Emblem very well, so
I don't know it either, man.
I think
we're the most informed video game journalists.
They just literally named a bunch of characters from games I've never played. I'm just like, oh, great. The guy from F-Zero, right? Okay, awesome.
The guy from F-Zero.
Anyway, they announced, it was Tina and Robin from Fire Emblem, so it's actually kind of surprising, because now that brings it up to 4 Fire Emblem characters, which they've never had before in a Smash Brothers game, so it's pretty cool. They also showed off, in the trailer, they showed off Chrom as well, who's another Fire Emblem Awakening character, who is going to be part of Robin's Final Smash. He's not going to be playable, but at first I thought he was going to be playable, but then they were kind of like, nope, he's a Final Smash person. So,
we discussed this before the show.
Tony,
what's up?
Tony, what's a Final Smash?
I'm gonna leave right now.
Right, hold on, I got a legit question. What do you think about the fact that they have so many of these Fire Emblem characters? Because, like you said, people didn't even know about Fire Emblem until Awakening came out.
It's interesting. At first I thought, what the fuck? They have 4 Fire Emblem characters? That's so crazy. Because usually usually when they have a lot of characters, it's from like Pokemon or Zelda. They've always had kind of a lot of characters from those. But I guess what I said before to Tony was that it kind of speaks to, I guess, how well Fire Emblem Awakening did last year. Just in kind of bringing awareness of the franchise and
Fire Emblem also has a lot of characters. Even a half dozen games that have come out like newish generation of Fire Emblem. There's just a ton of characters. And do you think maybe this hints to maybe there's a new Fire Emblem coming out, or isn't there a new Fire Emblem coming out?
I don't know. I would assume. There might be the Fire Emblem Cross something. There was like a Fire Emblem like cross.
Yeah, like Fire Cross Persona or something stupid like that.
It was something like that. It was something like that. But I just think in terms of because usually the other Smash Brothers the other Smash Brothers games, they always had like 2 Fire Emblem characters. It was like always Marth and then one other one. So this time now they're having 4, so it's kind of cool. Even though Lucina from the video looks a lot like a Marth clone, because the way her moves are all pretty much almost identical to Marth. But Robin looks really interesting. He has a sword, but he also has a bunch of spells that he uses too. So he has like a book that he holds, and then he does all these cool spells and stuff, which looks really different from the other Fire Emblem characters. And then they also said there's also an announcement that the full Smash Brothers roster will be revealed on August 12th on Monthly Koro Koro. So next month we'll know the whole roster, which is exciting and sad at the same time, because I always want more characters. So
yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, where are they gonna top out at 40? What is it, 24, 40? I would say, I would do 60. Just everyone, just throw them in there.
Right now it's at about 35 or 36, I believe, is the total roster, which puts it at about Brawl. So I would guess my max would probably be 45, but I don't think it's gonna be that many. I think probably 40, maybe a little bit more, 42 or so. It's because they have a lot of characters they haven't announced that have been in all the previous games. Like Ness hasn't been announced, and they don't have any Earthbound characters in the game at all yet. So I'm sure we'll probably get at least one character from each of those franchises. But it seems like they're trying to lean more towards getting new characters in, which is cool. I'd rather have that.
Yeah, I mean, how long did you want them to just trickle out new characters though?
I was hoping, because the 3DS version comes out in October, so realistically it would have been nice if they had just a couple characters they saved for toward the end. Because when they reveal the roster next month, that's still going to leave over a month until the game comes out. So
yeah, that's gonna be a whole month without announcements.
I think that's the best part when a fighting game gets announced, like a Mortal Kombat or like a Street Fighter or even like a Smash Brothers. Half the fun is who's gonna be in it, and then every week just kind of it's just the tease of it, and then just There's the excitement, and then there's just the massive disappointment that they didn't put in.
Evil
Like,
characters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, even like with like Mortal Kombat, for example, because they also this week they announced that they're probably going to have a guest character in Mortal Kombat X because of they had the guest characters in the previous one. So now all of a sudden I saw all these things on the internet saying like, oh, who's going to be the guest character in Mortal Kombat X? Yeah, or like the Predator's going to be in it or something like that. So
Lobo.
Yeah.
Lobo, that'd be cool.
I'm just checking out all the other Smash Brothers news.
San Diego Comic-Con, they're going to have a tournament, which I think is fun. Remember, I joked to you about this. I'm like, Ryan, you got to fly out there and beat the shit out of all these guys. And you're like, yeah, those are tournament guys.
I don't know. I haven't really played in like an official tournament, so I don't know how well I do. I imagine I'd probably get my ass kicked like in the first or second round or whatever, but
We'll put you in a nice Thunderbolt jacket and you'll
Oh, God. Yeah. But, yeah.
I was just thinking about E3. You were beating the developers. I'm like, maybe you could beat the other players.
Maybe, yeah. But, we'll see. I mean, I'm a huge Smash nut, so I'm very excited for the game.
Smash nut!
One other quick Smash Brothers news item was they revealed a Rayman trophy for Super Smash Brothers, which I remember I saw the article and I thought, oh, is Rayman going to be in the game? But then I thought, no, he's just a trophy for now, unless they surprise reveal him. But
put him in. That'd be awesome.
I was gonna say Rayman would be a great character, because especially of like Origins and Legends, like he plays pretty much like a Smash Brothers character, so it would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, that's it. I'm done with Smash Brothers. So.
Yes. All right, and the last bit of news, Ryan, I guess you'll take this one too. The Last of Us sales surpassed 7 million. New DLC in the works. Pretty cool. Game deserves it. Obviously, it's fucking great.
Yep, and we'll see it again on PS4. So
more Last of Us, great.
Yeah, people, by the way, multiplayer DLC, not single player. We're not getting Left Behind 2, So
I wish, though. I wish. It would be awesome.
I like the multiplayer. I like that it was integrated to your Facebook, so you got to like keep your camp alive. So it's like, Tony Polanco died of malaria. I'm like, that sucks for Tony.
Yeah, like, damn, man, what is this, the Oregon Trail? Shit.
Like, Tony died in a bandit raid because you didn't win that last match. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but the multiplayer DLC they said will be coming out later this year, and it'll be cross-buy. So if you get Last of Us remastered, then you'll be able to get it there as well.
Cool.
I wonder if it's going to be like the latest Killzone DLC where you can fart on people's faces to execute them. You guys read about that? It's like, what?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I posted on the site. I'm like, really, guys? That's what we're doing now.
Maybe Killzone should focus on being good before they start putting jokey DLC in there.
So guys are really happy. Like, oh my god, more DLC, more reasons for me to play. They actually...
It's not reason to play. But sorry, Tony, you missed it. I have the most interesting bit of news available out there.
What do you have?
And hold on, let me show you how it is.
Batman!
So, Adam West joins the cast of Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham as himself.
That's amazing. Not as Batman, as himself.
As Adam West. So I don't know if he's just going to be mayor of Gotham City, Adam West, but he will be in the game. He's going to be at San Diego Comic-Con next week, and he's going to be part of the panel. And he's going to be part of the huge already kind of like mega cast that Lego Batman's going to have. So like Troy Baker's going to be in it, Travis Willingham, Laura Bailey, Dee Bradley, Josh Keaton, and Scott Porter from Heart of Dixie, that great CW show. But most importantly, Troy Baker's going to be in it, and I think.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what game isn't Troy Baker in nowadays?
Hey, he's hot right now, man. He's the Nolan North. I bet Nolan North is fucking pissed right now.
Yeah, right. Like, hey, what about me, people?
They both have two different kinds of voices, which I always appreciate. But I feel like Troy Baker has a little bit more range because he's been characters in games we didn't know was him. Like he was Two-Face in all of the Batman games.
Yeah, you didn't know that, With Nolan North, it's like Nolan North, there he is. Like there he is, he's right there.
I mean, he was Penguin, which was great.
Yeah, that's true. But most of the time, you know it's him. They want that specific Nolan North voice.
Once we get
Saints Row, Nolan North.
Once we get to Troy Baker playing Nolan North in games, then the fight's gonna go down. So.
Yes. Troy Baker's the new Nathan Drake. It's gonna go down. All right. The last bit of news here is it's gonna be the big one, people. Destiny beta. It starts today, actually. When you're hearing the show, it's already started. We're going to be doing a lot of coverage as much as we can. I don't want to say everything we're doing, but it's going to be a lot of really cool stuff.
It's mostly video.
It smells like video. Exactly. And I think this is probably the biggest game of the year, right? I mean...
I I'd say so. I mean, it's,
Yeah, at least one of the top 3. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Activision game, and like I said, all the there's nothing really major coming out until next year. So yeah, this is the AAA title everyone's looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, we have the usual Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, but I think people are looking forward to this because it's brand new.
Yeah, it's a new IP. It's from the Halo, the original Halo guys, and they've been working on this game since God knows when. And everyone's kind of curious if this game is going to be a fucking mess or not.
Yeah, well, we're going to see a little bit of it ourselves. I mean, it's a beta. You can't really judge the final product by it, but we're going to get just really crazy with it. We're going to bring you as much stuff as possible. And hopefully, we have a post up there now. You guys should sign in and get our PSNs, our Xbox Live.
Yeah, we're going to be playing. We're going to be going hard on Destiny on both. It's coming out first on PS4, and then the following week comes out on Xbox One. So if you didn't have it, do the old Amazon trick where you pre-order it and then just immediately cancel it, and you still get your codes emailed to you. And I believe they're giving people like 3 codes. So you can give it to a friend, and you can do your own fire team, and you can make your own custom. I just want to keep talking so that way Batman shows up.
Yeah.
but yeah, keep an eye out. We're gonna have a ton of great Destiny just content going up. So keep an eye on that. And on our Twitch stream, we're gonna be streaming a lot of cool stuff there on our little DualShockers TV Twitch channel. It's on the main page, so look at it, absorb it, chat with us, do all that nonsense.
Yeah, all that stuff. I love that little widget there. It's like, yeah, it's right there. Just click on it. It's pretty cool. All right, so that's pretty much the show. So let's wrap it up with what we've been playing. Thomas, what have you been playing lately?
Really
Wait, what happened?
So you going, right?
Sorry, now I was to say too. We have a certain website is turning 5 years old this year.
Oh yeah. Do you want to talk about that now, or we want to talk about it when we're closer to the date?
I'd mention it really quick now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a post up for it. We're 5 years old, I guess.
Yeah. Something like that.
Clearly, I mean, mental maturity, we're 5 years old, clearly. But yes, your favorite website on the internet's DualShockers is turning 5 years old, and we are celebrating by throwing a sick-ass party at 2-Bits Retro's Arcade. I go there all the time. I don't know the name of the place.
2-Bit Retro Arcade.
Yeah, 2-Bits Retro Arcade. It's kind of like Barcade, but the games are cooler, and they're nicer. Yeah, I'm just saying. They got Street Fighter. They don't got Street Fighter at Arcade.
All right, that's it. So yeah, we're turning 5, and so yeah, if you live in New York, go into the post, sign up in Eventbrite, and come get drunk with us. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you sign up, it's free. It's free to go in, but you'll get, if you go through the Eventbrite, you'll get like a wristband that gives you like I don't know, happy hour prices on booze or like 20% off booze or some nonsense like that. But yeah, we'll be there. There'll be us, a lot of gaming industry people who just happen to like us will show up. But yeah, you'll meet all your favorite writers from DualShockers.
Especially George.
I will not be dressed up like Batman, and I'm there to just argue and fight about video games. So bring it.
We got to make sure Hip Hop Gamer shows up, man.
Good. I like when my places. If you want to hear 2 people fight about Killzone, watch me and Hip Hop Gamer go at it.
Fight about the most ridiculous nonsense, man. It's just so epic, especially if you're drunk. It's even better. So yeah, come party with us if you live in New York, or if you live even in New Jersey or Connecticut.
Yeah, tri-state area. I'm in Jersey. I'm going in. We know, tri-state area would be well worth. It's a Friday night. You're not doing anything, so come out.
Exactly.
And we'll be talking about it closer to the date. But it's gonna be the first week in August. So
yeah, we'll talk about it again. I think the slots would have been filled up, but maybe you can show up and maybe we'll let you in. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, you can show up. And even if you don't get the Eventbrite pass, it's still a bar you can walk into.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
Or if you're at the other side of the world, you can fly in with Thomas when he comes in, obviously. So
walk.
Yeah, he's walking.
Actually, canoe maybe across the ocean. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to get there, but canoeing's up there as mode of transport.
Yeah, exactly. Better than walking on the ocean, man. All right, so
those Australians are in good shape, man. I'm just like canoeing. He said canoeing, I nearly almost vomited. Because I thought of like the physical strain of canoeing, and I literally almost died inside.
Oh man! All right, Thomas, what have you been playing this week?
Not too much. I just got back from like a camping thing, so yeah, just kind of a bit of Dota 2, but not much else.
All right, Ryan, what about you?
Wrapped into Dota.
Not much on my end other than playing The Wolf Among Us. I think I might try and jump into some of the games I bought from the Steam sale, like Amnesia. I've wanted to get into because I bought those. So I'm ready to poop my pants this week. Yeah, that's about it. So,
George.
Final Fantasy 3 I've been playing a lot of because I'm going to review it, and yeah, it's Final Fantasy 3. It's nice. And what else am I playing? Oh, I'm going to probably play Wolf Among Us because I finally got the season pass for it, and now that it's over.
How did you play both? How did you play the episodes without a season pass? Or
I just got them as they came out, and then I stopped at episode 2, and then they finished the season. It's like, so during the Steam sale, it was like, hey, half price off the whole season, so $12 for all of them. So I did that, and I also got Walking Dead season 2, so I might start on those because why the hell not?
Still can't play episode 3. It bums me out, but.
Womp womp. So what did you do? Did you have to watch like a video of someone playing it in order to?
No, I haven't played it yet, so I have to wait until it works. So.
Wait.
Yeah, I gotta play through the first couple because I played it on Xbox, so I gotta go back on. I gotta start over again on PC. Same thing with The Walking Dead. So I gotta do season 1, so I can carry all my nonsense over to season 2 because I did it all on Xbox.
That's what I did because Walking Dead I originally played season 1 on Xbox, but then when season 2 came out, I wanted to play it on PC, so I replayed season 1 before season 2. So.
Oh, you know what else I'm playing? Divinity: Original Sin.
Oh, that's an older game, isn't it?
No, that was that Kickstarter game that came out. That is an that is an RPG ass RPG, man. That's a capital RPG. It is so much like it's like Baldur's Gate like on crack. It is if you were just like old school RPG, meaning like computer game RPG, meaning you love walking to a town and literally like I can take anything I want, or I have all these stat points I can play with, and if you want to go like just balls deep in just customizing nonsense and just do your own thing, it's like this is for you. And this game does not hold your hand. It just kind of like there's no like quest markers or anything. You have a journal that says, "Oh, you should probably go solve this murder." Okay, and then that's it. You just figure it out, and it's really cool. There's ability you can get that makes you talk to animals.
That's always handy, like Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I can help you out on this case. Or I saw this weird thing, like, thank you, horse, and then you just move on from there. But it's really cool. It's super weird, but to me, it already seems like a time sink. I did like 2 hours of it, and I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna have time to play you anymore. But yeah, really cool game. I think if you're looking for just a hardcore RPG, yeah, Divinity: Original Sin is really good. I don't know what it's like in relation to the other Divinity games because I thought they were like dumb dragon games, I guess, but I don't know if they just share the same name or even take place in the same universe. And you know what? I don't really care. But yeah, it's a really good game, so you guys should check it out. I think Alyssa's reviewing it, and I'm not surprised it's not up because that game is like forever long.
Yeah, she's gonna be playing it for a while.
Yeah. But
I'm glad I'm not reviewing that game because the way you describe it, I'm like, nah, I don't.
Yeah, really good quest, and it's also turn-based combat, which is really neat. So like,
that's cool.
So it looks like a Diablo, but then it just kind of plays like like a tactics game. You're just taking turns, and you do moves, and you can blow up stuff and do area effects, and there's like friendly fire, and like it's neat.
That's cool. Yeah, because the whole the fact that it doesn't let you know where to go, that kind of annoys me. But I do like the turn-based stuff. That sounds.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of freedom to do whatever you want, which is kind of like which is the trend in like a Western RPG. Like it's like, okay, we got this big, massive world figured out. Do whatever you want. There's a main story in there. Good job on that. But if you just want to kind of like bullshit and role play any kind of way you want, you can do that too, which is really cool. And like you don't see much of that anymore, unless you're playing like a Skyrim or something. But we have to wait for those games.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally worth it.
All right. As for myself, I've been playing Peace Walker because after playing Ground Zeroes, I'm like, I want to go back now. And it actually got me a little like more obsessed with the Cold War again. I'm like, I downloaded like a documentary, so I've been watching that whenever I can.
Cold War, just mutually assured destruction. Just
yeah, and I'm looking at the symbol for Peace Walker because it's the peace symbol, but it looks like it's actually a nuclear missile. I'm like, I think I want to get that tattooed somewhere. That's pretty damn cool, But
Tony's just researching for his Phantom Pain theories, just going through and
Yeah, that's part of the other thing because we're gonna be doing that. And like, let me go back to this game. The game is a hell of a lot of fun. I should mention this. I didn't realize how much easy the game would be with a normal controller because on the PSP it was tough.
Terrible. You had one joystick. That's why.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. I remember
the game with 2 joysticks is just like it blows your mind.
It took me maybe 2 months to finally beat that game with help, mind you, with help from other people. I beat Peace Walker on the PS3 by myself in 5 days. like just playing like maybe 3 hours a night, just beat the whole thing. I'm like, why is this game was not this easy before, but it's like I could actually get headshots every single time now. I didn't have to fight the controls anymore. I mean, there was still some weirdness with the controls here and there, but not as much as when you're using the face buttons to aim. That's not fun, you know. So I don't know how, but it's cool. I absolutely love it. I'm just playing it just to get better soldiers in Mother Base. The Mother Base stuff is so much fun, man. And you know what's really fun about Mother Base? The part where you like get a bunch of guys that are useless. You're like, you're fired. Dang.
Get out of here. We're on an island, so you better find your way home, bitch. Like.
Yeah, it's like you guys are just extra mouths to feed. Yeah, because you know how like you have an index for food, right? It's like it'll be at 180%. You kick up 20 guys out, then it goes up to 200%. It's like there we go. That's what I want. And I finally built up Zeke, so I'm sending him out on missions and stuff. It's a lot of fun, man. And I'm hoping Phantom Pain is like that, where it's like episodic missions. We could just build up Mother Base. You could just spend the entire time on Mother Base if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the video, and then in the demo you saw also at E3. Yeah. Your base was like you were going to be under attack, so people were setting. You saw soldiers running around and defenses being like,
built up.
So and then you leave. I'm like, wait, Snake, why would you leave if your base is under attack? Why would you just jump on the chopper? You're the worst.
That's going to add a whole other dimension to that because Mother Base cannot be attacked in the PSP version, so it's going to be interesting. That imagine if you come back to your base is gone. It's like, fuck.
He's got a list of like, hey, we fend them off, but oh, by the way, all these people are dead, so you might want to recruit a bunch of guys next time you go out to Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's like, full to recoveries. Let's go.
Son of a bitch, Kaz. Left you in charge. Everyone's dead.
Exactly, and then I did sneak in a little bit of Ground Zeroes just for the Twitch thing, which is a lot of fun. Kind of interesting going from Peace Walker to Ground Zeroes because Ground Zeroes is really just an like an evolution of Peace Walker. It really, really is in so many ways, you know. And no problem with that. I love Peace Walker. And that's pretty much everything I've been playing, and that's pretty much the show. So make sure to follow us. We got a lot of shit for you to follow us on. Follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes under DualShockers. Make sure to go to Twitch TV. We're DualShockers Live. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching and listening to us. This week I was joined by Thomas Luke.
I'm off to buy a canoe.
Ryan Meitzler.
Tony, I Falcon Punch you. Jorge, I Falcon Punch you. Thomas, you're cool, so you won't get Falcon Punched. You're fine. So.
And George Jimenez.
You're not Falcon Punching anyone. Why? Because I'm the goddamn Batman.
Beautiful. And, of course, I was Tony Polanco. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. Play Destiny with us. Peace.